Hi guys, we're here today with Lake Macquarie Mayor Adam Shultz, who I've known for 30 years. How are you, Adam?
Good, good. I was thinking actually on the way in here, we have known each other for 30 years and I think we live 2 doors apart. We used to play in the same primary school band, saxophone together. It's good to be back. Yeah.
So you've been in the role for about 6 months. Yeah, what have been the highs and lows? What have you set out to achieve? Has there been anything that surprised you coming into it?
Absolutely. So been in the role for 6 months, as you said. I was a councillor for 8 years beforehand, so I kind of knew what I was getting myself into. But yeah, tried to hit the ground running. We had actually an arson attack at Lake Macquarie City Council last November, so that threw a spanner in the works.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we've actually been working remotely for a long period of time. We've finally got some digs up at Warners Bay, and about 450 of our staff are now based out at Walls End, at the old Osgrid building there. So yeah, it's been challenging. So 1,300 staff at Lake Macquarie City Council. We've got 12 councillors, 4 of which are new. Myself as the new mayor as well. So yeah, it's been a learning curve. Wasn't expecting the fire, but you've got to lean into these things and adapt.
And are there many people in the team that I guess historically haven't worked remotely and they're very much accustomed to just coming into the same office? And
yeah, so obviously we all went through COVID together and that kind of changed the dynamic. So at Lake Macquarie City Council, staff have got flexible working arrangements, but primarily they like them to be in the office more often than not, so normally 3 days in, 2 days out. But yeah, with 1,300 staff, different people have different operating rhythms and issues.
One of the questions I wanted to ask was about leadership and sort of the 3 things you think are the most important things to model, and I guess that's probably quite topical in the face of that arson attack. Quite a bit of uncertainty there.
Yeah, absolutely. The arson attack hopefully is a one-off for Lake Macquarie City Council. In this day and age, you've got to be nimble and agile and able to do what's required. So you can be working remotely, but still being as productive. So in terms of myself as the mayor, I always try and lead by example. In terms of our council, so obviously we're in a political environment, but it's really important as the mayor to be effectively look at it without the political lens on. What I mean in terms of being a fair and reasonable chair. So we are in a political environment. I'm a Labor mayor, but when I'm chairing a meeting, it's appropriate that we hear from different individuals. It's not trying to shut down debate. It's trying to encourage debate so that we collectively can make good decisions for the city.
In your first term as mayor, I guess, what are some of the key economic projects that you're overseeing?
As a council, it's more our role to try and facilitate economic development rather than be directly invested in it.
Sure.
So in Lake Macquarie, we've got a lot of old mining land from mines that have closed down or are in rehabilitation at the moment. So it's about trying to reuse that mining land appropriately. We're staring into that. We're liaising with the state government planning minister, Minister for Natural Resources in terms of how we can try and facilitate that. Blackrock Motorsport Park, $100 million development that they're investing in out there to effectively turn an old mine site into a new and improved racetrack with tourism offerings. That's one example of what the potential is for old mining sites. If something can be reused, why wouldn't you do that? You'd definitely lean into that.
If you're a business that's considering, you could be relocating from Central Coast or Sydney and you're looking at Lake Macquarie and sort of thinking, why would I break ground there? What would you have to say?
At Lake Macquarie, we've got Dantia, our economic development company, which will effectively try and streamline the process. They can provide a lot of stats and due diligence for businesses. But if you weren't aware, Alan, we're actually the 3rd fastest growing regional local government area in the country. We're shooting the lights out. People are flocking to Lake Macquarie. The demographics of the city are really shifting. A lot of young families, a lot of people coming for a better life in Lake Macquarie. Why would you want to be anywhere else than Lake Macquarie? We've got award-winning beaches, we've got our lake, we've got the Waddingham Mountains. We've got opportunities for people in abundance in the heart of Lake Mac. So we encourage business to reach out to Dantia, our economic development board, and they can try and facilitate, you either relocating into Lake Macquarie or potentially, broadening your business in Lake Macquarie.
You were the youngest mayor ever elected.
I am the youngest mayor ever elected in Lake Macquarie. Thank you for asking, Alan.
You've got a young family yourself. So for young professionals with families that are maybe relocating to Lake Macquarie, I guess what's exciting in Lake Macquarie at the moment?
I do have a young family, 3 young kids, a 6-year-old, 3-year-old, 1-year-old. Lake Macquarie really is a fantastic place for young families. So we're leaning into that as a city. We've got a number of learn to swim pools on the horizon. So we're about to actually break ground out at West Wallsend for a new learn to swim pool. That's been an initiative that we've been looking to do for a number of years. We're also looking at Morisset and Swansea to have all year round indoor learn to swim pools in the years ahead. Recently we finished the redevelopment of the Hunter Sports Centre at Glendale. So the Hunter Sports Centre has been around for a long time, but we've spent about $52 million there.
Wow.
Yeah, with the state government and the federal government supporting us. But there's a new trampoline centre of excellence, new running track, new gymnasium. There really is something for everyone in Lake Macquarie. Yeah, Lake Macquarie is a great place for families. It's a great place for people of all generations. You and I grew up at Warners Bay there. We lived 2 doors down from each other, and why did our families choose to live in Lake Macquarie? Just because it's a great place to live, and nothing has changed.
A lot of our clients are in the engineering and manufacturing space. We've sort of seen a bit of increased activity around that sector, and would you say it's fair to say in Lake Mac that there's quite a growing space in engineering and manufacturing?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We've got a number of industrial locations throughout the city. So Cardiff, a growing industrial site at Morisset, Toronto West, as well as light industrial at Bennett's Green. But just encourage any organisation that's looking to relocate or get a foothold in Lake Macquarie to reach out to our economic development board, and they can provide a steer in terms of what land's available, what's coming up, and also what's being zoned for the future. So having manufacturing land, having industrial land is really important throughout a growing city like Lake Macquarie.
And who are we losing to, Adam? Like who's the two groups that are telling us up?
Good question. So Noosa up at the Sunshine Coast. So that's a beautiful spot, right? As is Lake Macquarie, but Noosa's tough to beat. And Geelong, so just outside of Melbourne, obviously they've got a huge pool of people in Melbourne. Lake Macquarie's coming number 1 in the Hunter.
Well look, thanks so much for being so generous with your time today.
No, thank you for having me.
It was great to see you.
Yeah, cheers.